Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Tip on a Tuesday with me, Larissa, the life coach. Now, today we're going to be talking about relationships. We're still talking about balance, but now we're talking specifically about relationships. So, the question today was, what characteristics would your potential mate have to have? Was there anything in particular that if they didn't have that, that's it, it's a wrap, not going to fool with you? Do you have a list, and what things are on that list? Now, for me, I've kind of thrown that list out the window. I wrote a list when, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. But now that I'm over 40, I don't have time for all of that nonsense. I had a list that was probably a mile long. He had to be this, he had to be that, blah, 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 blah. At the top of the list was probably that he had to be, attractive. I wanted somebody who was fine. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was going to be my aesthetic equal. But now that I'm over 40, I want somebody who is not only going to stimulate me visually, I want somebody who's going to stimulate me mentally. That's much more important to me now. So I kind of feel like your list has to evolve as you grow as a person, or at least it should. That's one tip. Who you are today may not be who you were last month when you wrote that list, last year when you wrote that list, 10 years ago when you wrote that list. So you may just have to, check back with that every couple of months and just kind of, line that up with who you are and where you are in your life at that moment. And also, tip 2 would just be, don't be so stuck on having the list or having certain must-haves. Like, you may feel like, I've got to have somebody who is 6 foot tall. But what if your soulmate is somebody who's 5'8"? You don't want to miss out on a great thing because you're caught up in what the packaging looks like. You may feel like, well, he's got to make a certain income level. But what if he makes a certain income level, but he's an asshole? But there's a guy who works at, the Home Depot who treats you or wants to treat you like a queen. So don't be so stuck on what the list says. Think about how you really want to be treated. In the middle of the night, at 3 a.m., when you've got problems and issues, Mr. Fine may be sleeping trying to get his beauty rest. So I'm just saying, be a little bit more flexible. Be thoughtful about where you are in your life and what you really want. What's best for you? If you have children, what's going to be best for them? So those are my tips for today. If you have a list, it's great to have lists. I love a to-do list. I don't want my list to be like a Build-A-Bear workshop or a Build-A-Man workshop where, I'm going to add this and I'm going to add that. He's got to have a little of this and let's go ahead and put that on there too. So not that kind of thing, but just, there are certain deal breakers. Don't get me wrong. There's certain things that are just going to be a no-go. If he doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, he is not the man for me. He's not the man for you either. But just kind of something to think about. So that is my tip on a Tuesday. I'll see you guys on Friday for Fun on a Friday. Have a great night, guys. Bye. Oh, that's right. Ciao for now. That's how I normally sign off. Bye.